Marcia said, "What are we going to do?" I said, "We're going to pray that our lives will be spared." And she said, "Oh, Mama, I may not have been as good as I could be." I said, "Honey, you have never been anything but an angel."
At the National Weather Service office in Birmingham, Alabama, meteorologist Jim Campbell has tracked the damage since the first tornado hit Alabama at 4:30 p.m.
The one that hit Guyun was a very powerful tornado. It was an F5, which means the wind speeds were up to nearly 300 miles an hour. And I remember one of the state troopers telling us that the town of Guyun was no more.
The walls of Mildred McGuire's house have accordioned in on themselves, crushing the dining table. Mildred's husband, Robert, and daughter, Marcia, pulled themselves out of the rubble. They're stunned but unhurt. Mildred is not so lucky. She was closest to the collapsed wall and is injured. When she tries to stand up, she has horrible pain.
That's when I realized that I was in real trouble. And I told them just to help me to the living room floor and to try to find an ambulance. And then we heard all the screaming of everybody in the neighborhood.
The small town of Guyun is destroyed. The phones and electricity are down. Robert rushes out to find help while Marcia stays with her mother. Only a few miles away, 19-year-old Tommy Norwood is on the toughest mission of his life. A friend found Tommy's brother, Rex, lying badly hurt in his car. With the town in chaos, Tommy and his friend Randy must rescue Rex themselves. Tommy's family runs the local funeral home, and their hearse doubles as the town's only ambulance. But the car can barely move through the debris that has fallen on the roads. Tommy's anxious to reach his brother, but he can only inch forward.
You hear people that say that you literally cannot see your hand in front of your face, and this is a good description of that night.
Finally, they spot Rex's car.
Rex!
The last 100 yards with the stretcher seem to take forever. Tommy stumbles through the dark, not knowing if Rex is still alive.
So Randy and I, we had started making our way to Rex with a stretcher, and we would take 3 or 4 steps, and then one of us or both of us would fall.
When they reach Rex, Tommy is horrified. The top of the car has been completely ripped off.
So I'm starting to yell Rex's name and not getting any response. We see that he has a horseshoe type of injury to his head that makes a U shape.
Rex was waiting to drive his landlady to safety when the churning funnel struck. His car was bounced and tossed 75 yards into a house. Tommy can see bone and exposed tissue on Rex's badly injured head. Tommy knows that each breath might be Rex's last. He says a prayer and starts back. The nearest hospital is in another town. Tommy must remain calm, but he is surrounded by the panicky sounds of others in trouble.
Then the screams for help with other people are becoming more numerous. There's more calls of, "I need help over here," or "Someone please help." You feel your heart just feels like it's literally going to come out of your chest, and it's thumping so hard at that time.
Tommy struggles through the night to get Rex to the nearest hospital.
Getting Rex to the hospital was a real sense of relief for me, realizing that he got there alive.
Rex Norwood survives the tornado of April 3rd, but his injury causes permanent brain damage. Rex is not the only one in trouble.
Is there anybody out here? Is there anybody
Out there in the darkness, Robert McGuire is still searching for someone to save his injured wife, Mildred. Shortly after a devastating tornado rips through the small town of Ewan, Alabama, heavy rains begin to fall. Mildred McGuire's back was crushed after the tornado threw the house 30 feet. Mildred and her daughter wait for rescue.
I was just so scared, you know, that once I knew she was hurt, I was worried what I was going to do if she needed help.
It was over an hour, and I was getting cold. And I told Marcia, I said, you probably need to put a blanket over me because I may be going into shock.
Hello? Is anybody out here?
Mildred's husband, Robert, has gone for help.
Is anybody out here?
But all he sees around him is destruction. Every few feet, neighbors are calling out to him.
You okay?
Help! Help!
Come on. Come on. That's terrible. I don't think you're okay. You all right?
When help finally arrives, it's in the form of Tommy Norwood, driving the same ambulance he used to rescue his brother, Rex. Although worried about Rex, Tommy has driven back to town to help others.
Back here, guys.
Despite her pain, Mildred is still calm.
Those little boys and Mr. Roberts were very careful in lifting me not to do any more damage. And they carried me out the back window and across the trees over to the next driveway.
Downed trees and debris make even Mildred's journey to the ambulance a delicate operation. Mildred McGuire has survived a tornado of unfathomable violence.